Well, the Toy Story franchise turns 30 this November. The original Toy Story from 1995 was the first computer animated film ever made, and the franchise has remained a pop culture icon to this very day. But for me, personally, my favorite film in the series is and always has been Toy Story 2. I personally have a lot of nostalgia for Toy Story 2, famously owning it on VHS my entire life. In fact, this may sound crazy, but I've actually seen Toy Story 2 before the first one. And we all know Toy Story 2 for being released in theaters and having a full 93-minute runtime. There's even a bootleg that was recorded in the movie theater. However, this was not Disney's original intention with Toy Story 2. You see, back in the day, Disney used to make direct-to-video sequels for some of their most major hits. Some of these movies consisted of Aladdin 2: The Return of Jafar, The Lion King 2: Simba's Pride, and The Little Mermaid 2: Return to the Sea. You know, where Ariel has a daughter. Good luck explaining that to your children, parents. The point is, Toy Story 2 was supposed to be one of these direct-to-video sequels, and it was originally supposed to be only an hour long. Not only that, but the script was also pretty different. This original 1997 script was written by Doug Chamberlain and Chris Webb. So without further ado, let's go over the Toy Story 2 that never was. This version of Toy Story 2 starts with Ham and Rex watching Buzz Lightyear play a video game based on himself, where he's rescuing a princess from Zurg. Meanwhile, Woody is looking at the calendar, and he points out that Andy's going to be home from summer camp in 3 days. Then suddenly, he hears a hammering noise outside. But before Woody can investigate, Bo Peep grabs him, causing a loose thread on Woody's leg to come loose, ripping it. Then Woody goes over and finds out that the hammering was for a garage sale sign. Woody tries to keep it a secret from the others, but then Rex also finds out and sends all the toys in a panic. Woody attempts to calm the gang down by telling them that garage sales are only for older toys, leading Mr. Potato Head to insult him by saying that Woody is the oldest toy in the room, calling him an antique. And then suddenly, the small rip on Woody's leg becomes a big rip and stuffing starts to fall out. Woody decides to relax on the roof to get some alone time. But then he is blown off of the roof and lands in a garage sale box, where he is spotted by Al. Al then yoinks Woody and runs off with him in his fancy car, but not before Buzz gets a look at the license plate through some binoculars. While the rest of Andy's toys grieve Woody, Buzz Lightyear is trying to decipher the license plate, soon realizing that LZTYBRN means Al's Toy Barn, and that Al was the one who stole Woody. So Buzz, Ham, Potato, Slinky Dog, and Rex set off to go rescue Woody, while Woody is already stranded at Al's apartment. Once he's there, Al manages to fix up Woody good as new, even repairing the burn mark Sid made in the first movie. Al then takes his collection of Woody's Roundup merchandise, unpacks it, and displays it. And it's at this moment Woody meets the Roundup gang: Stinky Pete the Prospector, Bullseye the Horse, and Jet Senorita Cactus. That's right. In the original script of Toy Story 2, Jessie didn't exist. Also, Bullseye was originally going to talk. He was going to be voiced by Martin Short of all people. Bullseye takes a liking to Woody right away and gives him a friendly greeting. Meanwhile, Prospector and Senorita Cactus are absolutely appalled to hear that Woody's been played with and corrupted by Andy. And then they talk about how posh they are. Cactus and Prospector then show Woody an episode of Woody's Roundup. Between this and all the merchandise, this causes an overwhelmed Woody to pass out. The next day, as Woody tries to escape, Bullseye goes over and admits to Woody that he misses being played with, and has made several attempts to escape himself, all of which have failed. Woody attempts to escape again, but this time he's caught in the act by Prospector and Senorita Cactus. The two convince Woody not to escape by showing him a price book. Woody looks at it and realizes how much he's really worth, causing Woody to start to lose his friendship with Bullseye in the process. Elsewhere, the rescue party is on a busy highway, and Buzz is starting to lose his confidence. Eventually, the gang finally make it to Al's toy barn, where they go under traffic cones to stay safe, just like in the final movie. Except in this version, Buzz actually gets hit by a car, leaving a scuff mark in his leg. The gang makes it inside during closing hours, and the rest of the toys go to Al's office, while Buzz ends up getting lost and winds up in the Buzz Lightyear aisle. There, he meets another Buzz with a utility belt, and the two face off. But during their face-off, they accidentally knock over some boxes, and Emperor Zurg comes out of one of them. Utility Buzz tries to fight Zurg, whereas the regular Buzz goes behind him and takes out his batteries. Utility Buzz decides he is not worthy of the utility belt and gives it to Buzz, restoring his confidence once again. Then the rescue party joins together again and follow Al to his apartment. The gang climb up the side of the building. Meanwhile, Al is showing off his Woody's Roundup collection to a trio of art sophisticates who are opening up a museum in New York City. Woody, Senorita Cactus, and Prospector are ecstatic about their new lives in the museum, but they celebrated too soon because Buzz shows up through the skylight to get Woody. However, Woody has been completely brainwashed and doesn't even remember his real friends anymore. Buzz has had enough of this baloney and grabs Woody and forces him out of the skylight and attempts to reason with him. Now Woody's got a choice to make: to stay with the Roundup gang or go back to Andy. As Woody thinks, his hat blows off and lands on top of a flagpole. Woody then desperately tries to climb the flagpole to get it. And at this point, the wind is blowing really hard, and Woody is about to fall off. He calls out to the other two Posh toys to help, but they don't want to risk their lives over a hatless Woody. But it doesn't matter now, since Woody manages to get his hat back anyway, and Prospector and Senorita Cactus go back to being nice. But it's too late, they already let their true colors out, so Buzz and Woody make their grand escape, but Woody jumps back in to get Bullseye. As Woody and Buzz are struggling to get Bullseye through the skylight, the others spill out of an air vent and attempt to help. But right at that moment, Al comes in, packs up the Round Gang, and drives off with them in his fancy car, leading Buzz and the gang in hot pursuit. Buzz attempts to get the door open, but Woody opens it from the inside and lets them in. In order to slow the car down, Woody jams his hat in the tailpipe, leaving his hat a charred mess. Al pulls into a Dynaco gas station to see what went wrong with his fancy car. But then, the toys get a hold of it and drive away with it. Al thinks he's been carjacked, so he gets into a Pizza Planet truck and gives hot pursuit Fast and Furious style. Woody attempts to slow Al down by throwing Woody's Roundup merchandise at him, not noticing Senorita Cactus and Prospector angrily coming out of their boxes. Woody declares that now that his hat is charred, he is no longer worth anything to his former fake friends, causing the two to retaliate. But right when they're about to, Bullseye kicks them out of the car, and they're picked up by two random kids on bikes. Al tries to get them back, but the kids won't budge, leaving Al a crying mess in the road. After all that's done, Woody, Buzz, Bullseye, and the rest of the gang drive back home in Al's fancy car. Andy finally comes home from camp and sees his toys on his bed waiting for him, though briefly questioning the scuff in Buzz's leg and Woody's charred hat, but nonetheless he's happy to see his two best pals again. Andy then notices Bullseye on his bed and thanks his clueless mother for the new toy. Andy plays with his best friends, and that's the end of the movie. And there you have it. That was how Toy Story 2 was supposed to play out when it was still going to be a direct-to-video sequel. And another thing, you remember that story where Pixar accidentally deleted Toy Story 2? Well, the version they deleted was the original version I just described. Meaning they ended up deleting the movie anyway, just to spend the next 9 months completely redoing it. And to tell you the truth, I think I prefer the final version much better, because at least we got Jessie the yodeling cowgirl instead of a bratty cactus. And so we have finally reached the end of the video. So thanks for watching and have a great day for infinity and beyond.